morning, my MPP peeps, and welcome to February. The entire month, everything's going to be free. All the real-time trades going to be posted to at MPP Trades Twitter handle. Access to my website is completely open for anyone to use, and all of these calls, all these meetings, the stretch and the cool down, once in the morning, once right after close, going to be available to everyone. Just give me your email address and I'll send you the link before those meetings occur so you can join. All right, let's get to the action. What a wild, crazy after hours and pre-market it has already been. We gapped down last night. We got down to 36.56 on the futures. And this is a futures chart. If you follow from the March lows, you can draw a line from the March lows where we touched the October lows. And we just came down here last night and touched this line again. Does this hold? So far it is. We have a nice bounce up 1% this morning on the S&P. I think, you know, if it does not hold, if we do close below this 36.56 at any point, I think we come down here and test 36.30 or 36.20, 3600. That is our line in the sand because, you know, it was resistance for a while, and resistance needs to become support. If it does not, next support is not until this 200 SMA, which right now sits around 33.50. So it'd be nice if this uptrend line held, and if it doesn't, we still have this 3600 support. If that doesn't hold, look out, okay? Look out. So, you know, hopefully the bulls come and start buying. They already have. And as Corey said, this could have just been a bear trap before the next wave higher. So that's the futures. Let's look at the S&P. So we have our uptrend line here too, and it pretty much last night, if the S&P opened where the futures low was, we would have touched this line right here. Okay, so let's see if this line holds. This 36.27 is the 0.382 retrace from this low to this high. That needs to hold, okay? That 3630, 3600 level, and then the 200 SMA, like I said, is right around 3350. That would be your next level support if this area, if the bulls can't defend this area. But so far, so good this morning. You look at the VIX. VIX is down 6%. I would like to see it close below this 200 SMA. If it can do that, then I think the bulls could really push the market higher. As long as we remain above this 200 SMA, fear is still elevated. Especially, I mean, we're here in the 30s. Okay, this is elevated for the VIX, even though we're down, still elevated. So I'd like a push back down through the 200 SMA. So we'll be watching that throughout the week. All right, we have some plays. We have some ready to rock trades that could trigger today. This ARKG is looking really good, coming down here and testing the uptrend line and the 0.382 retrace. If it can get back above this downtrend line right here, I think we could run to 119, 125. So this one looks good. ARKK, testing the uptrend line, okay? As you can see, it's tested a couple times and has held so far. If it can get back above this red downtrend line, we could head to 158.92. And then beyond, so these are dip buying system trades. This is a growth system trade, okay, longer term. I'm going to probably buy this morning. Okay, in 8th position. Go ahead and jump in. My target is 350. Okay, so a lot of reward for the risk, which is a close on a Friday below 200 SMA. So little risk, great reward. Like this beyond for for a growth system play. The CRWD, this one looks really good this morning. Dip buying system trade, I'm looking for 265. Earnings are March 25th, just something to be aware of, but could have a nice pre-earnings run up to this, this 266, 265. And it already looks good this morning. So this could be a trade in the early morning hours this morning. This Etsy coming down here, testing the uptrend line. If we can get back above this 10 SMA, this tiny green line right here gets back above there, I think we could test 245, 250. And this earnings are March 2nd. So, I'm looking for a pre-earnings run up to new all-time highs. FTCH, this one looks good this morning. We could be taking this one this morning if the strength continues. Pull back down here to this 0.236, getting back above the downtrend line. Earnings are March 4th. So I'm looking for that pre-earnings run up to 72, possibly 84. Then we got LMND. This is a put selling trade. So I'm looking at this 120 strike, which is the 0.50 retrace, which I think if this LMND falls further, we will find support here. I don't want to necessarily get long because it's just a very extremely volatile trade, but that volatility gives you an elevated premium in this 120 put. So if we can get a nice price on these weekly 120 puts, I'm going to sell puts to try to collect premium. LULU, this is a growth system play. I like how it's come all the way back down here to test this 200 SMA. Great risk reward because our stop is a Friday close below this blue line. And my target is this 470, 480 area. So a lot of room to the upside for very little risk. So I'm going to watch this a little longer. And Friday, if we remain above this 200 SMA, I'm going to get long. This MAXR already looks really good this morning. I think it's already up like 8%. As you can see, it's come down here, test this uptrend line. It's been a pretty strong trend. So it could find a bottom here and start to head higher. My next target is 69. So we'll see how it does this morning. This may be a trade that we enter early this morning. Dip buying system trade, earnings are 224. So earnings are coming up in the next few weeks. So this will be a quicker trade because I obviously don't want to be long through earnings. This 69 may be pretty high, but let's say we do get long and we end up, somewhere in the mid 50s. Well, we can sell half right before earnings and then put some sort of collar on, sell calls, buy puts to try to capture more upside, but not get hurt by any downside. So we'll, if we get long this MAXR, there is, there is a way to protect yourself into earnings. PDD looks pretty good this morning as well. I'd like to see it close above this 10 SMA to get long, and then my target would be this 205 area. Earnings are March 17th. Run's coming all the way down here to test this uptrend line. Nice little triangle forming. If we can get back above this downtrend line, I think this could really run. Literally, no pun intended, could run to this 117. However, earnings are 225. Okay, so we have to be aware of that. Target. This uptrend line is held since the March lows. All right, it's touched it right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now a fifth time. Does it hold again? If it does, and we break this downtrend line, I think we could go to our next wave higher, which is around 210, 215. Earnings are March 2nd. And then this WTRH, this is a weekly chart. This is one I've been following for a while, and I really like this setup. The 200 SMA on the daily is at 323. And my target, if this thing wants to find buyers and take off, my target is 23. Okay, this is in the mobile space. They're a food delivery service, competing with Uber Eats, but I think they have pretty good business model and could be profitable pretty soon and quickly. So this 23 is not completely impossible. So as far as a risk reward trade goes, it's fantastic because your stop is a Friday close below this 323, and we're at 354 right now, and your target is 23. So risk reward couldn't get any better than this trade right here. So I'm looking to go in this one this morning with a 1/8 position, and it's the growth system longer term trade. All right, so that is all we're watching. I know it's a lot, but since we had this big move down, a lot of strong names are setting up to go long again. And that's the great thing about being patient, waiting for dips, is you have a ton of stocks to choose from and a ton of different ways to make money. That is all I have, guys. Do you have any questions? Anything you want me to go over? SE and also still liking TDOC. All right, let's look at that, Dan. SC was on my list. Got cut just because I want to see it come down a little further to this uptrend line for a better entry. But it still looks good. If this thing gets back above the 10, and especially back above Thursday's high, which was 228.41, I think you could get a pre-earnings run up to this 250, possibly 260 area. So SC still looks good, and then TDOC. Yeah, I mean all these. Hold on, got to get rid of all this stuff. Previous analysis. Yeah, so TDOC coming back down here and testing the 10 SMA, which is the previous breakout. You draw a line right here. You draw a line, horizontal line right there. You're testing what was once resistance, broke through resistance, could be support. Okay, this could be support. So it's above the 10 SMA. This play right here, yeah, I think it's worth watching because it does look set up pretty well. If you can get back above Friday's high and then draw a 1.618 retrace from the high down to Friday's low, you could tag 317, and then your stop will be a daily close below the 10 SMA, which right now is at 258.71. And you're already gapping up. So if you get back above, 274.50, I think this is a go and go for 317. I don't know when earnings are though, Dan. You need to look and see when earnings are to see how much time you have. Because I hate being long anything earnings wise, because it's always a crapshoot. You never know how the market's going to react. Anybody else? Anyone have any other ideas you want to talk about? Cool, Kent. Yeah, we got some good setups. So there's an opportunity to make money if this market wants to continue higher. Oh, and guys, we're only going in 1/3 positions in the dip buying system. Okay. Full positions, we're going to wait until the market starts proving itself that this rally is sustainable before we go back into full positions. 1/3 positions right now. Okay. All right, guys. If that's it, I will see you this afternoon. And for all of you who are taking part of February, I will be sending you that email 5 minutes before. And so you have plenty of time to join us. All right, guys. Until this afternoon, don't trade for thrills. Just consistently make those dollar bills. See you guys.